Hey everybody, so I have an unboxing today. You see right here, this is an UmiDigi device, but this is actually kind of old. I got this like 2 weeks ago. This is like the UmiDigi Z2 Pro. I got it 2 weeks ago, but I actually think it's been out even longer than that. So this might be like a couple months old, I don't know. This right here, however, it's a new UmiDigi device. So I'm gonna unbox both of these. I haven't had time to unbox this because October has been so freaking crazy. And I'm currently also reviewing the iPad Pro. The new iPad Pro is awesome, man. You guys know I don't even like to use iPhones, but the iPad Pro, it's awesome. So I really like UmiDigi's packaging. I like the black box, like there's a little bit of texture on it. It's a little bit nicer than all the other Shenzhen brands like Doogie, Liegu, Blueboo, those boxes. So this is the UmiDigi A3. So check out the specs. MediaTek 6739, Android 8.1, 2 gigs of RAM. Okay, this is a budget phone then. I didn't know that. 2 gigs of RAM. 3,300 milliamp hour battery, 5.5-inch display. This one, Helio P60. Okay, so yeah, this is a more premium device compared to this. So another thing I like about UmiDigi's phones is they come with a case, and it's usually like a pretty nice case. This is like fake leather, but it feels nice in the hand. Usually free cases that come with the phone are terrible. They're like those TPU jelly cases, the soft ones. Like Huawei Mate 20 Pro came with that one. I like tossed that shit in the trash can. I didn't even care to use it. Let me do the rest of the unboxing first. Okay, pretty bare bones. That is it. You have a micro USB cable and a power brick. And right here you have the usual papers and a SIM ejector tool. Okay, for a budget device, this feels pretty nice. It has that iPhone X vibe. There's a screen protector pre-applied to it. Yeah, I mean, it feels pretty nice. Definitely inspired by iPhone X. You have these aluminum sides. I think they painted over it to make it look more like stainless steel. Okay, and now let me unbox this one. The Z2 Pro. It's a very similar, you get another card. You also get this leather case. Oh nice. This is that Twilight color. Same thing. These are probably USB-C cables though. Yep, USB-C. You get a power brick, and then you also get a dongle, headphone jack to USB-C. Oh yeah, that always feels good. Let's peel. Oh okay, I accidentally ripped off the screen protector too. So this is inspired by the iPhone X. This is inspired by the Huawei Mate 10 and the Huawei P20. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna set up the phone and then I'll be back when we're hands on. Alright guys, I'm back. So I played with both of these phones for the last 4 hours. It is now 2 a.m. right now. It's not 2 p.m., it's 2 a.m. So I'm gonna run over the specs and the prices really quick. So this one right here on the right, this is the UmiDigi Z2 Pro. It has this really nice gradient color glass back, inspired by the Huawei P series. This is a 6.2-inch display, LCD 1080p panel. Powers on a MediaTek P60 chipset, so this is relatively powerful for a mid-tier entry-level device. It has 6 gigs of RAM, 120 gigs of internal storage, and performance has been surprisingly solid. Although this phone sells for $299 right now on GearBest, and I think that's slightly high, but you are getting a really nice premium feeling phone. Like again, if you grab this phone and you're not looking, and then you grab like an iPhone, I don't think you're gonna feel much of a difference. It's really nicely made. Okay, so this phone right here is the UmiDigi A3. It sells for $89. That is really cheap, but you'll see why. So this is a 5.5-inch display with 720p resolution, but as you can see right now, still look pretty damn nice. Unfortunately, there's only 2 gigs of RAM in there, so performance has been pretty slow. A lot of times when I'm doing things like opening a camera, it takes like you see, it takes like a full 2 seconds almost to load. But again, $89 phone, I'm not sure what more you can expect. But one of the good things about this is the build quality is very nice. You have a glass back, aluminum side, so like I said, it kind of feels iPhone-ish. And there's a big 3300 milliamp hour battery inside. That's relatively big. The chipset, it's a MediaTek 6739, so it's definitely not a powerful chipset, definitely entry level. You see on Geekbench just scored a 601 single core, 1797 multi-core, and you see it kind of takes a second to load everything. So now interestingly, despite these two phones being from the same company and released very close apart, the software slightly differs, especially the swiping navigation. They're located on different parts of the menu and the language is completely different. So on the A3, it has its own tab in settings, overview, home, back, and then on the Z2 Pro, it's under smart assistance and you go into buttons. And then you see even the way they explain the buttons are different. So right here, there's actually like a photo showing you the swiping, whereas on the A3 there's like nothing. There's actually no instructions whatsoever on how to use the swiping navigation. But it's pretty simple to figure out. You swipe from the middle to go home, swipe from the left or to go back. You swipe from the right side to bring up app overview. But the swiping navigation on the A3 is a little bit buggy right now, so sometimes I just cannot go home. See, right now I'm having this problem right here, and earlier I opened the game and I straight up could not go home. So I do not recommend using swiping navigation when you're getting the A3. Just use traditional Android buttons. They're much better, much more responsive. So you can double tap to jump between apps, so it just makes navigation a lot better, and you can still hide the navigation button. So when you jump in Instagram stories, you are getting complete edge-to-edge display on the story. So now the swiping navigation on the Z2 Pro, it's different. So you remember on this phone, you swipe up from the right side to bring up app overview. On this phone, you swipe up and hold to bring up app overview. So this is like an iPhone inspired gesture. Instead, when you swipe from the right side, it just goes back. So the two swiping navigations are totally different, and there's no bug on the Z2 Pro. The swiping navigation works, so it seems like this phone is just a little bit more optimized. The P60 chipset is holding up very well. So I play Hero Hunters, it ran fine. I played this ridiculous game called Amazing Strange, which is a rip-off Spider-Man. It ran fine. Tekken ran fine too, so everything is okay. I mean, it's not like the greatest graphics, but this is definitely on par with a mid-range phone. Now, on the A3, it's $89, so you can't really expect a lot. It ran JCS2 fine, which is good because JCS2 is still pretty graphically intensive. But when I moved over to Hero Hunters, it was unplayable. Like, the graphic would stutter like hell. So if you buy this phone, just know that you cannot run heavily graphic games. Like, don't even think about playing PUBG on this. Now, moving on to the camera, same thing. On the Z2 Pro, you have a 16 megapixel camera that's actually pretty respectable. So check out some of these images I took with the Z2 Pros. This is pretty damn nice. Like this can keep up with, say, an entry-level Xiaomi phone or like one of those cheaper Honor or Oppo phones. Like dynamic range is pretty good, and then this is a surprisingly crisp photo. You see there's a little bit of overexposure here, but overall this is well balanced. And video is surprisingly smooth too, so let me play a video really quick. So pretty crisp, and then you swipe to go back. Now this phone, for $89, the camera is not bad, but the shutter speed is really slow and it really struggles to focus. So some scenes, I would literally hold the phone and it had to wait like 3 seconds for it to focus. But this is a selfie and you see it's pretty decent. Now you see, like, it's okay too, but this shot took a long time to focus. See, now you see this image here, it's kind of overexposed on the light, so it's not that well balanced, but it still gets all the colors pretty accurately. And there's still a lot of detail. You can see this cab driver glaring at me despite the cheap price and the 12 megapixel sensor. There's supposedly a second camera on the back. I'm not even going to test it. I mean, let's be real here. Yeah, so I mean, considering these are photos taken at night, this is respectable for $89. So now check out a video. This is 720 resolution. See, again, you see it's pretty sharp. Colors are pretty nice. Now it's very jerky as soon as I move, but that is completely okay. I mean, we have $400 Honor phones out there that don't have OIS, so I can't expect OIS on an $89 phone. Now let's look at a video again on the Z2 Pro. So now you see this one has a little bit better balance. But still no stabilization. This is a pretty clean video, and this is 1080 resolution, so this phone can only record up to 1080. So otherwise, both of these phones run Android 8.1, so not much to expect. It's a very clean skin, not a lot of bloat. Actually, no bloat virtually. This is like a kind of vanilla Android. Okay, so now let's do our usual video test. This is the Z2 Pro. So you see there's a little bit of letter boxing because of the notch, so videos do not fill up on the notch. So you have a bottom firing speaker grill and also a little bit of sound coming from the left side, so not bad. And it gets pretty loud, but it's a little bit flat. There's not much bass. So now we'll check the A3. This only has a bottom firing speaker. Yeah, so it's easier to muffle the speaker, but the sound is still pretty okay. Like the mids and the highs are clear at least, but yeah, there's virtually no bass on this. This display is 720, but you know, I don't think it looks that bad. You can't really pixel peep. Okay, so that's about it for these two phones. So you have the UmiDigi Z2 Pro here, sells for $299. I think $299 it's a tough price because there's just so many other good phones out there. Like a Poco phone, you get Snapdragon 845 for that same price. This for $89, it's more reasonable. This is obviously for people who are really on a tight budget. So I think this will do the most basic smartphone things. You can expect a lot, and the camera is serviceable. So what more can you ask for? So these are the two phones from UmiDigi. I'm gonna be back in a few days with OnePlus 6T and the iPad Pro. Thanks for watching.